But yeah, man, breaking news. We actually on a day with breaking news. This is mostly obviously again we're in football mode right now, and plus there ain't really much shit going on in NBA except for one headline. But breaking news: Sean Payton has stepped down as the head coach for the New Orleans Saints. Um, and I don't know how to feel about it because he looked happy as hell stepping down.
Because he got
I
another
didn't
job.
I didn't see no sadness in his face. He seemed like he was good, content. Yeah, my question to y'all is that do y'all think he's planning on retiring, or is this more of just like he's gonna end up elsewhere by the start of next season?
I think he already got the job.
Where's that at?
I think Dallas.
Hmm.
I really do. I think something is, if not Dallas, one of those teams like that, with a loaded deck. And I don't know why I just feel like that. I just feel like that might be where he's
Not New
going.
York
I don't think New York. I don't think
with
he would
two
leave
first
for New
round
York.
picks.
Even with 2 first-round picks. Just that quarterback situation is shaky. I think he would want to go somewhere where he can say, I can really make a difference by touching right here. And I think a place that, like Dallas, and I don't know if y'all saw, but Jerry Jones was really not happy with Mike McCarthy. He's saying he's tired of making the end of season adjustments. We need to be making adjustments in season. He was basically like throwing some shots. Like, and with him, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I look
And he
for him
the
to make a
owner,
big
so
splash.
that
I
thought
thought
Jerry
Jerry
don't
don't really fire coaches like that.
he don't, but he don't. He getting tired of everybody saying like, "Nigga, you guarantee a Super Bowl every year,
right?
and y'all can't even get out the first
You
round, let
can't get
alone
out
the
of the first
second
round.
round."
And I think this year spoke volumes because him, like yourself, had high expectations of this team.
Yeah.
And nobody was more disappointed than him.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So, I think that something has been brewing, but it had to be the right move for him to make it. I think this would be the great.
What about you, Ken? You think Sean Payton's done, or is he going somewhere else?
I think he took a look at Taysom Hill and was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." I think he might be done, man. Yeah, I think he might be done. I don't know where he could go. Like, is there like you're saying New York, and I guess you probably have a take on that. Dallas. The fact that they don't fire coaches give me some pause there, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, my question is, if you Sean Payton and you're looking at that roster, are you thinking the same thing? Or are you thinking that, oh, if I would have coached this team, I could have took this team to the Super Bowl? Because Dak is good. Dak can play. Dak ain't Drew Brees.
To me, that's the thing. That's why I'm expanding it outside of Dallas, and as we get FIFO coming up, we can get his thoughts on it. But to me, the obvious thing is Dallas. But Sean Payton, like Jacksonville, don't they still need a head coach? Obviously, I mentioned New York.
The Bears, too.
The Bears just hired a GM. They didn't hire a head coach yet. So to me, it's just like, does he want to have sustainability? Is he because he's still fairly young, right? For a head coach. Does he want sustainability, or does he want to win now? That's my only thing. If he wants to win now, obviously Dallas is the choice, and maybe Jerry Jones is already talking to him on the side. But for me, it's also like he can look at Trevor Lawrence and be like, "Look, that's a fucking superstar, and if you put him under my tutelage, he can go far." Same thing with Justin Fields or whoever they could draft in New York if they decide to go quarterback. I just think that Dallas is too easy, and there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's a lot of pressure, and then you still got to deal with Jerry Jones. With Sean Payton, he ain't have to deal with that in New Orleans, so it just depends.
But I think Jerry Jones learned his lesson, and I think that's the reason why he came out this year and like publicly apologized to Jimmy Johnson and how he kind of railroaded all of those Super Bowls, because now he's starting to see it's not just the talent. Because before he wasn't necessarily picking the talent, he was paying the talent. Jimmy Johnson was picking and coaching. But then once Jerry Jones did not get the public recognition for any of it, he felt the type of way, rolled Jimmy Johnson out of here, and then they won one with Barry Switzer, and that was it. But it wasn't the same formula. And this year, I think the reason why he came out and said all of that was because talent-wise, the Cowboys are a top 5 roster. And they were ousted again in the first round. again in arguably, not arguably, but the weakest division in football. How, Sway? To a team that, for the most part, has been injury riddled, from running back to quarterback. You know what I'm saying? All types of defensive players, and you get beat like that. You can't get beat like that. Not when your talent is that much more greater than the 49ers offensive talent. You can't lose a
16
game like that.
years. Damn. So yeah, so I'm kind of catching up on this story. So I didn't know he had 3 more years.
Who? Jimmy?
No, Sean Payton.
Oh, Sean Payton.
So Sean Payton has 3 more years. So he's under contract for New Orleans for 3 more years, and if he tries to coach, they're thinking, at least Adam Schefter is saying that
They'll trade him.
the Saints may want compensation for that.
They'll get it. They'll get it.
Yeah, of course they'll get it.
And it's worth it.
It's Sean Payton. Yes.
It's worth it.
Yes.
Is it?
Hey,
Yes. What is it?
Hey, you don't think that could kind of, I'm not going to say supplant the Drew Brees? You don't think he has that level of talent?
No.
Y'all don't think with
No.
the right coach?
I don't think that's the conversation that needs to be had just yet. I think we still need to focus on Sean Payton. I think that's why Ken said that shady shit he just said. As far as is he? Because when was the last time the Saints went to the Super Bowl?
Okay, so are we solely grading Sean Payton on Super Bowls?
Or when was the last time the Saints?
Okay.
When was the last time the Saints had a deep playoff run?
A couple years ago.
Year before last. I mean, year before this one.
Against the
49ers?
What
was the PI? How long ago was that?
That was 2015, wasn't
Hell no. No, it was no 2015. It was
There's
no
the
6-7
Vikings
years ago.
game, right?
you talking about the Rams? The Rams PI?
Maybe the Rams.
That was like 24.
No, it was just, it had to be at least no more than 3 or 4 seasons ago at max.
You remember, it was a couple of years ago. Remember, I think I started saying we need to look at Sean Payton. And everybody started copping excuses for him. Oh, well, you know.
Was Drew Brees not over the hill?
He was great teams and a great record, if I'm not mistaken. We can look that up.
And at the end of the day, at least the last 3 or 4 seasons, when it came to the end of the season, Drew Brees was just
he
not
would
the same
fall
guy.
off. His age would catch up. Same thing used to happen to Brady.
And just like but the difference though is that Drew Brees' arm, you saw it. He couldn't throw with any velocity past 30 plus yards. Tom Brady still can throw that thing out there. Not saying he's the same Tom Brady, but he's not with a water pistol out there.
He was last playoffs. He just got bailed up by the defense.
So it wasn't a water pistol.
So since 20. So this is what happened in the last almost 10 years now. So I'll start from 2013. 2013 is when they lost in the divisional as the 11-5 team. They didn't make the playoffs again until 2017, where they lost in the divisional.
They said 2018.
And in 2018, they lost in the conference. And I think that's the Rams. And then 2019, they lost in the wild card. And this past season, in 2020, was they lost in the divisional. So he hasn't been to the conference since 2018, which is about 4 years now.
That's not bad.
And he made the playoffs 2 years after that, but.
So at the end of the day, let me ask this. Obviously, over all of those coaching vacancies outside of Brian Flores, Sean Payton's better than all of them.
I agree with that.
What about if Eric Bieniemy gets,
But Eric Bieniemy has never been a head coach.
Is he better than all of them?
The current incumbent coach in Dallas.
Hell yeah, he's better than Brian Flores.
He said
outside of Brian Flores.
My apologies.
That's the only one. But everybody else that got the boot, Sean Payton better than all of them. And then the current head coach right now, McCartney. Bro, come on.
I mean, he was winning. He was doing something a lot of people couldn't do.
12-5. He did the same thing that Sean Payton did the last couple seasons.
But they had the talent.
They had the talent, and
Sean Payton has had talent too.
Not that kind of talent.
Not at the quarterback position. Not in the last 3 years.
Look at even the skill position talent that they have around that team. They got a lot of talent in Dallas. They got that offensive line has always been talented.
So is the Saints.
Not
the Saints
no,
line.
it's up there.
It's very
like
Saints got a great defensive line. Cam Jordan is a star.
They got one defender. They're on the defensive
line.
They don't have receivers.
They don't.
They got Michael Thomas, and that's about it.
That's the biggest.
He quit on them this year.
Yep.
When Jameis got hurt.
100. So Michael Thomas, they got Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara better than Zeke now. You know what I'm saying? And obviously,
Consistently, yeah.
Is he?
yeah,
Yes,
and
he
more
is.
and more
Alvin
versatile.
Kamara wasn't that good this year.
More versatile.
I
He
get
didn't have
you.
a quarterback.
He wasn't good this year, but he was still
because
better than him.
because Ken, here's the thing
Neither
with
did
Kamara.
Zeke.
Kamara's not a 1,1800 yard rusher up the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like Kamara's more
All purpose.
1,100 yards rushing, 600 yards receiving. You know what I'm saying? He's a more
I versatile. I got you.
you know,
I'm cool with
but
that.
at the end of the day, look, let's be honest, man. Mike McCarthy mismanages football.
That's the biggest thing.
Sean Payton, we never questioned his clock management.
Clock-
When do we ever?
Clock management and penalties, stuff like that. That's where
That's
McCarthy
coaching.
struggles.
That's coaching. Matt Nagy. Again, I still think he's a pretty decent coach. I'm not saying he's a great coach, but he got a raw deal with them taking your favorite quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. You know,
Didn't he want Trubisky?
not really.
I don't know. I don't even.
I
was
never
more the
know that
GM.
situation. I don't know if they drafted him before he got there.
No, they drafted him.
I thought it was like right after he got there.
Something like that, either right after he got there or not before he got there. He was already there, but either way, I don't think that was necessarily his guy. I think he just bought into the whole shit.
Okay, so I know I don't think he's coaching next year, but the year after, that's going to be older. We don't know what that.
Young, though.
I know, but we don't know what that Dallas. I guess ultimately, what I'm saying is we don't know what that Dallas roster could look like.
100%. Here's the thing. In my opinion, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm not taking the Dallas gig. Why? Nick already mentioned a couple of things that are negative. It's an extreme pressure cooker. Why? Because you just had a Super Bowl winning coach before you if they get rid of Mike McCarthy. So guess what the expectation is for you year one? Super Bowl or bust, because that's where the Cowboys are. If I'm Sean Payton leaving that New Orleans situation, I don't necessarily want that level of pressure. And partly what you said, that gets older. All of these guys get older. Now they got young talent. CeeDee Lamb is young. Michael Parsons is young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they still got a lot of old heads.
Contracts would be due around that time.
100%.
Yep.
I don't want to deal with that. If I'm Sean Payton, I don't necessarily want I'll take a rebuild with a franchise quarterback. Why? It's safer. If I don't win the first 2 years, they're not going to let me, Sean Payton, they're not going to let me go.
Especially if you go to Jacksonville.
Exactly.
They hoping for 5 wins.
Exactly. If you go to Jacksonville, you follow Urban Meyer, bro. 5 wins the next 2. As long as Trevor Lawrence don't look like how he did right now, your job is safe. And think about this. You said that they already hired. No, that was Chicago that just hired a GM.
Yeah.
If I'm Sean Payton, and Sean Payton's one of the few coaches that I would say, hey, go pick the groceries, go cook this motherfucker, go prepare it, go do whatever the hell you need to do. Sean Payton's one of those type of guys. And you have arguably, they say the last 3 greatest or the last 4 greatest quarterbacks, right? Like the highest grades that they ever got. John Elway, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence. If I'm Sean Payton, I did all of this with Drew Brees. Bro, Drew Brees never had them legs. Drew Brees was never that height. Drew Brees never had that arm. Give me that guy. Watch what I could do with him.
Okay.
But I don't really think the pressure would bother him, though.
It's more. No. It's just more about like if he doesn't win a Super Bowl in 2 years, he's fired.
Job security. Exactly.
I don't think he care about that either. I think for him,
that's the case. Then stay in New Orleans.
I mean, but the name, and I think the Dallas pockets are deeper. So if Jerry wants him, the only issue that I would see is the fact that Jerry gonna have his nose in your business.
100.
And like you said, that's the problem.
That's the biggest issue.
For me, it wouldn't be the pressure. It wouldn't be stuff like that. For a coach of his stature, it would just be having your owner in your pocket, in your Kool-Aid. Like, let me do my thing. And
postseason 9-8, 1 Super Bowl.
That's Sean Payton's record.
That's his
playoff record.
His overall record 152-89.
Damn good record. And then you
Depends
also
on who you're talking to.
Well, you also got to remember when he took over New Orleans was one of the laughing stocks of the NFL, and he's converted that organization to a prominent organization.
And I think that's his legacy.
100%.
I don't think it's going to be this 9-8 record. The fact that you went to New Orleans and won a Super Bowl, that's like LeBron winning one in Cleveland.
100%. Bro, do y'all forget pre-Drew Brees, there was Aaron Brooks, Joe Horn. Them Saints was not respected like that.
So I'm just trying to catch up on history because 16 years is a long time. I don't remember all that shit. So Peyton and Breeze arrived together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then won 10 games his first season. So I wanted to look this up because I'm like, well, did he ever have to deal with a rebuild situation? Which is what he's going through now. If you had Breeze for 16 years and then you look around and you
ain't
got
trying to do all that no more.
Taysom Hill, yeah, I'm like, I'm good, bro.
Especially like I don't think he's opposed to a rebuild. I just think he's opposed to starting from fucking scratch.
Look, what was the whole aura of Sean Payton? He's a quarterback whisperer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why the hell am I gonna start?
That was before he got to New Orleans?
No, when he got to, that was the legend that was created with him
because
and
of what he was able to do with Breeze.
Yes, because nobody wanted Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze was a failure in San Diego.
Failure.
Yes.
He had, what was it? That shoulder
issue.
the right shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody thought Drew Brees was gonna be that. He took Drew Brees and went to the top and maintained. Look, Drew Brees is gonna go down as a top 10 passer all time. When we're talking about yards, touchdowns, stuff like that, because some of these young cats, Mahomes is gonna catch them and pass them. The Bills, Josh Allen, if he stays on this, he's going to catch him and pass him. There's certain guys in the league right now that I think could catch and pass Drew Brees just because, think about it, when Drew Brees was really balling, they wasn't throwing the ball like this. And these cats is fucking coming in year 1, year 2, year 3, fucking balling 4,000 or 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
30 touchdowns.
You think so, though? I be wondering if their lifespan is going to be shorter, though.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
You know why? They're taking less hits, and all of the rules are pro offense.
Correct.
So, Drew Brees played in that old shit. Don't you remember Bounty Gate? That was the same. They was taking niggas' heads off.
I know, I remember.
So Drew Brees played in a whole different era. To me, I think Sean Payton, I think the most important thing is who's the QB. And if it's an established, you're 100% right. I don't think he will run away from the Cowboys job. But is it as attractive as Jacksonville? It's a clean slate.
And I feel y'all on that. But if you think about a lot of players in their prime, what do? Like, if you're a player in your prime, you're chasing championships. You're not chasing rebuilds. So why wouldn't coaches think the same way? Why would a coach want to be a part of a rebuild?
Because it's hard to be picky and choosy as a coach like that.
Unless you're Sean Payton.
Yeah. So some have a more pull.
I mean, but outside of, we're assuming that, and we can move on to after this, but outside of like Dallas, what the situation is championship ready to go? Who's just missing the head coach?
That's what I'm saying. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, as a head coach, if you that nigga, you got to be going. You got to prove it. You always got to prove it everywhere you go.
But I would think, just me personally, I would think that coaches are after the same thing that the players are. Like, give me as close to the championship as possible.
I think their championship is getting a QB. Like, as long as I got a guy, we always got a chance.
But at Sean Payton's level, wouldn't he be chasing the greats?
What is his level?
He's a top tier coach.
Question.
No, he is.
He's a top what?
He's top tier coach.
He's chasing the Belichicks.
What is he ranked?
What would he rank?
Chasing the Belichick?
Is he a top 8?
It's gonna be tough to catch.
He only got one. Sean Payton's not better than Tomlin.
That's what I was gonna say. He ain't better than Tomlin.
I'll give you that. It's kind of like how Rodgers. Kind of like the Rodgers.
Yeah, they're on the same level.
Is Sean Payton right?
Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, you want to say they're on the same level? Why not?
Hell no. First of all, he has 2 Super Bowls.
Okay.
He's been there 3 times.
Okay.
How many times have old boy went there?
Twice.
Okay, so and he's 1-1.
You said Mike Tomlin only got 1 Super Bowl.
I thought he got 2.
He went to 2.
No,
Big Ben got 2.
Yeah, Big Ben
got 2.
Tom got 1, but he
Big
went
Ben got
twice.
2.
Just like Sean Payton. To me, they're on the same level. They just do different things. Tomlin, in my opinion, is more of general manager of the roster. You know what I'm saying? Not saying the GM in terms of picking, but he can. It doesn't matter the type of turmoil y'all gonna play. Y'all gonna be ready to play.
Yeah, they're different styles.
They're different styles. You know what I'm saying? I think with Tomlin, he kind of allows the OC to do what he does and the quarterback to do what he does. I'm focused on the management and the type of plays. Is it a run or a pass? I don't give a fuck what you call, but let's call the right thing in the right situation.
Okay.
And more defense. Yeah. Sean Payton's all about that offense. So I agree to a degree, Shelton, but at the end of the day, especially, like, think about this. When Andy Reid left the Eagles, I think he took a year or 2 off. Then he went to Kansas City. Right? That was a rebuild. He took a quarterback that
No, that was not a rebuild. That wasn't a rebuild.
What did they have?
Alex Smith was there then.
Yeah, Alex Smith was there.
And I can't remember. Don't quote
Alex
me.
Smith was there, and he was winning with.
He was winning.
No, he was winning with Alex Smith, but he was winning because it's Andy Reid with Alex Smith, not the other way around.
No. But he knew it was a situation that he could go and win. He didn't know the greatness to come.
No, 100%. But it was a rebuild. Look, I read an article on The Athletic about this some time ago. Mm-hmm. When he got there, the drafts that Andy Reid had is why you see what we see in Kansas City now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So he went there not saying that it was like you're starting from ground zero, but you started at ground two. That's maybe three.
For me, rebuilds are it's hard to describe, but certain rebuilds are like a legit one, and other ones are just like
retool.
Retool.
So like the San Francisco 49ers, what they're doing right now, they're retooling what they want to do, which is why they gave up all that draft capital to go get a guy, even though they're in the NFC Championship game.
Correct.
That is what Andy Reid did with Kansas City. Yeah, I got Alex Smith.
Is it a little different now, though? And this is just a question, and I'm going to get some of these super chats. Is it different now than before? Like, we're in a microwave society where you ain't got time to develop. You don't have time to.
Yeah, I don't. I used to not like it, but it makes sense now based off the demands of the.
Oh, Reid traded for Alex Smith.
Oh, he traded for him?
I don't look, y'all. I didn't comment on it, but I did. But I don't remember that NFL history like that.
These motherfuckers got their computers up right now, researching everything.
I don't be remember all that shit.
I try to get to what I can get to, but I don't remember half that shit. Did you win in the last 3 years? I remember that shit. Anything after that is old as about 10 years ago.
What they call them, our research team or what they say?
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Statisticians.
Statisticians.
Appreciate it. Hey, shout out to Igwe Ike. He just joined the Access.
Yes, sir.
Club Access. Ken, tell them about the Access for the ones in the chat that don't know.
That's the YouTube membership that we rolled out last year, and we're working on a few things for you guys, but it's just a way to support the show, to keep us going, and to try and experiment with new things like 365 and a members only call-in show. That is one of the things that we're definitely working on this year. What up, brother Q?
Yo, you can hear me?
All right, yeah, we got you. I need my remote to the TV, but yeah, we can hear you.
Chief Miyagi said, I'm gonna get to all your super chats. I'm just doing this one because it was relevant. He said Brian Flores is 24 and 25. No way is he better than Peyton, a Super Bowl champ who been doing this for a while.
But Flores really took over a complete rebuild. And to even be close to 500 with that situation, hey, there's greater coaches that would do way less with that.
And I don't think it's that he's better. I just think that he's a hotter commodity at this point, and he has a chance to do some things. I'm not going to resume to resume don't stack up.
Situation is different.
When you talk about,
he's a guy that I can see like he's going to be here for a while as long as you give him what he needs. To me, Sean Payton is just bouncing around. Possible to me, Sean Payton is looking for the best situation. He's not really looking for to be a part of my franchise.
Yeah, because he's already established.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But Flores is still. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather get somebody great or good to great who's still establishing themselves than to get someone who's already just like you could tell like it
would really depend on the situation, the type of team it is. That it's got to match.
Would you rather have Brian Flores right now or Sean Payton?
It depends on my team.
It depends on
so
the situation.
If I'm Jacksonville,
I'm just talking about.
It depends on team, Nick. Just because this person is greater doesn't mean that he's greater in this situation.
Right.
Situations are different. If I'm Jacksonville, give me Sean Payton all day.
Sean Payton any day.
If I'm the Chargers, give me. It doesn't matter either one.
Yeah.
Sean Payton or Brian Flores. The Jets, give me Sean Payton only because of Zach Wilson.
The Broncos, give me Sean Payton. Give me
Brian Flores.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Vikings.
The Vikings,
Brian Flores or Sean Payton.
I will go Sean Payton only because they already had a defensive head coach. That's the only reason why. So I would pivot. But again, it just comes down to situation.
So you said the Vikings, the Jacksonville, and what was the other team? To me, those
Chargers.
all the Chargers. Look, those all already kind of established, except Jacksonville, but they have an established number 1 overall pick who's super talented. To me, those are the situations like, all right, we already did most of the work. You just got to coach it up. I'd rather just have somebody that can.
Well, most of the work ain't just picking the guy. Most of the work is developing them. That because think about it.
You got to have them first.
But a draft pick is a one-time decision. Development takes years. Drew Brees wasn't that guy when he got there with Sean Payton. It took years for Drew Brees to amass that level. And especially if we're talking about respectability and getting a footing. Like Drew Brees wasn't considered a great quarterback year one with Sean Payton. It took years. So the hard part is not getting the guy. The hard part is developing the guy.
But if you already got the talent, like Patty Mahomes, how much of development do you think he really needed?
That was a lot of Andy Reid. That was just a perfect scenario.
Because he came out in the press conference and said, "I'm just now reading defenses." What year after he went like 2 years? So that's why I'm like, I'm not saying Andy Reid didn't develop, but I'm saying when you have that much talent, you just adding skill onto it. Drew Brees had to add. He had to overcompensate for the lack of talent.
But if you're telling me that Pat Mahomes could have went anywhere and done this, I'm calling bullshit.
I didn't say that. I just said that we're talking about. You said coaching and growth.
Yes,
as a player, I'm saying it didn't take much growth for that because everybody in training camp said.
But let me ask you this. No, of course he had a certain level of talent, right?
Yeah.
But talent can only get you so far. Situationally, what's happening? How are you scheming? Look, for everybody watching, go look up a YouTube channel called QB School. JT O'Sullivan, he used to be a former NFL quarterback, and he used to play in NFL Europe. He breaks down tape of all of these QBs, from Jimmy G to Zach Wilson to the last time Trey Lance just started. And what he was talking about, what he talks about a lot, is play design. When he was breaking down, I was just watching it. He was breaking down Zach Wilson, and he was like, "Okay, when I see this front, I know that they're coming, but the play design has no hot reads." And you want this. So when you hike the ball, he looks like he's trash, but that wasn't on the quarterback. That was on the play design. Where did you want him to go when all of this pressure? You have this long ass developing route, and then you got guys that's not even running the right route.
Right.
Is a remote in one of those chairs?
That's never going to happen to an Andy Reid team. Andy Reid is going to put you in a situation to make sure you can take advantage of everything that's happening out there on that field. And
man, Nick, they don't want to hear about all this shit, man.
Yeah, they do.
You know what they want to hear about, but go ahead and finish your point.
And they have the talent at the key positions. You got the fastest guy in the league. You got arguably the best tight end. At the time, they had Kareem Hunt. You know, that fits that scheme perfect.
Ooh.
Like, dog, what do you mean? Situationally, Andy Reid was never going to let Mahomes ever feel anything. That's Andy Reid, bro. Give him Mike McCarthy, see what happens.
They still win their division, probably.
No, hell no. Hell no. You know what? People will be calling Mahomes a bust or a reach. Oh, yeah. He got a big-ass arm and he can't do shit with it.
Them 13 seconds would have been gone so fast.